This podcast is a quest for well-being, a quest for a meaningful life through the exploration of fundamental truth. Enlightening ideas, insights on physical, mental, and spiritual health. The inspiration is love. The aspiration is to awaken new ways of thinking that can lead us to a new way of being well. Welcome to Body, Mind, and Soul Healing Conversations.
Imagine what it would be like to live without fear and embrace more universal joy. As evolutionary catalyst for self-mastery and conscious ascension, Viviane offers the Arcturian Healing Arts program at 3 levels. Through this advanced galactic program, you will awaken to the 5th dimension and beyond. Those interested in growing intellectually, emotionally, physically, spiritually, in abundance, and in relationships are welcome to participate. Group healing is part of our ancient galactic healing program. Healing, resolution, reconciliation, and expansion beyond stories, limitations, restrictive energies, and any other resonance of blockages are all possible in this higher vibrational quantum space. Valeria interviews Viviane Chauvet. She is an advanced Arcturian Hybrid Avatar, published author, international public speaker, creator of the Arcturian Energy Matrix Healing, Multidimensional Way of Healing for conscious evolution, advocate for planetary ascension, and owner of Infinite Healing from the Stars LLC. Viviane is the producer and co-host of the popular The Infinite Star Connections podcast. She was the hybrid consultant on J3 Films' documentary, Extraordinary: The Seeding, and featured in a multi-award-winning documentary, Extraordinary: The Revelations. Viviane's collaborative #1 best-selling book series, Wisdom of the Silver Sisters, Guiding Grace, and Golden Wisdom of Love, Legends, and Legacies are on Amazon. Viviane is a well-known speaker at the Los Angeles Conscious Life Expo, New Living Expo, Sedona Ascension Conference, retreats, Hidden Secrets Revealed Cruise, Mount Shasta Summer Conference, and more. She offers workshops and meditation series on YouTube and the Conscious Awakening Network, CAN. CAN offers fascinating programming and interviews on ancient origins, angelic, walk-ins, hybrids, starseed, ascension, spiritual awakenings, and more. Look for CAN on Roku and Amazon Fire. In 2007, she went through a major awakening and energetic reset, then was trained by the Arcturians in holographic and quantum healing. She furthered her studies and became certified in crystalline soul healing, unity field healing, QHHT, and theta healing. She serves as an emissary and multidimensional conduit for a cooperation of star delegations, including the Lyrans, Sirians, Andromedans, and other interstellar groups. Today, she is also an emissary and ambassador for the galacticalliance.org. Meet Viviane at infinitehealingfromthestars.com. Here's the interview with Viviane Chauvet. In your own words, who is Viviane Chauvet?
That's a great question. Yes, in my own words. So, from an Earth personality perspective, people know me as Viviane Chauvet as much as on a public level than a personal level. Who am I? It's really the most profound question we can ask, depending on how you perceive yourself. Of course, who am I? Am I a divine essence of light? And through many levels of incarnation and soul evolution, I chose to come from the Arcturus realm, to come directly to this lifetime, as you know me now, as an Arcturian being in a form that allows me to navigate this lifetime, do beautiful work, do interview, connect with all of you, connect with the earth, and also the sacredness, the pulse of life. Huh? So in a nutshell, this is who I am.
So you mentioned soul evolution. Is that the goal of the evolution of the soul, to be where you are today, Viviane?
Beautiful question, Valeria. And yes, soul evolution, you have to simply remembering that you are an ancient being of light. Your soul is ancient and also carry so much knowledge, encoded into you. And as we are finally transcending beyond limitation, whether it's on a cultural level, societal behavior, ancestral, historical, we finally to start to remember more and more who we are and what soul aspect are we embodying the most in this lifetime. And so, for example, there's many people who identify themselves as a star seed because that's part of their soul essence, what they brought in this lifetime, helping them to heal karmic ties, heal the wounds of the past, being able to shift beyond programming, whether it's on a mental, subconscious level. We're here to return to our divinity. So I call it the re-evolutionary process in a sense, because it's a grand return.
Do you perceive the soul's journey or the soul's evolution being grounded in choice? Are we making choices? And are those choices basically stemming from fear and love? Or do you see something else happening here?
What a beautiful and yet complex question that has a multitude of layers. I'm going to go back to the Buddhist monks. The teaching of Master Buddha always says the enlightened mind, a pure state of mind, of course, the mind in his higher faculty state. They say, I read it somewhere, they said that suffering is optional. And pain, suffering, what we go through, all the soul on the planet go through so much learning. Part of the earth school of learning, it's about learning to be adaptable and also returning to be more fluid with the constant of the universe, which is change. And it's self to realize, to say, wait a minute, I went through all of this in my life. And we say nothing is in vain because you have the ability now to extract the true wisdom, the true understanding of what this journey was about for you. And when you come here, looking at the soul design, you have the right to say, okay, I gone through this certain lesson. And for example, I am done with the experience of resentment. I choose and ask assistance to shift beyond the paradigm that kept me in the energy of resentment, for example. That would be an aspect. The other aspect is also far more bigger within a divine, huge divine design going on, unfolding here. It's also the release of an entire planet and entire civilizations that had sunk so deep into what I call the descending into lower mind and density. We are returning to reclaim who we are and says, I no longer authorize anyone of any shape or form, regardless where they come from. I no longer give anyone the authority to harm me, to go into my core, to take my light, to disturb my inner sacred universal peace. Now you would say, Viviane, that's easier said than done.
Yes,
right?
In a way.
Right? But
Yes.
at the same time, if you just be with us for a moment in this precise energy, the algorithm of frequency, the energy beyond our words, is to show you it is time to move out of very specific paradigms of reality. It is no longer necessary to go through the same hardship and learning the lessons the hard way, and all of these cliches that come with it. Let's shift that together.
Yes. Wow, that's beautiful to be reminded of. And another thing that I usually wonder if when that happens, when we shift that, let's say, almost like jumping from one reality to another, which it feels to me like I am experiencing at the same time, this one and so many others. Does it mean that this reality, the earth reality, disappears, Viviane? Or it continues to be here, but just at a different level?
I feel it's a continuous form that allow all of us, especially those who are really dedicated to their spiritual journey, mentally, physically, emotionally, and even beyond, to be able to shift your vibrational state, the frequency that you stay in. We always say every day, stay within a certainty of your light. And what it truly means is that you have the right to reset yourself energetically, bring yourself back to the point of a divine 0 point, or also known as divine neutrality, and being able to step away and to say, what is it that I wish to contribute the most every day, whether it's a dream, your healing practices, being of service to the light, your families, yourself, and everyone on the planet. It's really about shifting from the mental programming, the entanglement. We become so entrapped into the same stories and the emotional connotation behind it. My intergalactic group always said, remember that all the sum of your experience, you carry the wisdom within you. Release them and see them as the experiences for what they are. It's the emotional attachment. Let's say someone broke your heart, right? And you will still remember that person. But you have a right to remember that person from a different angle, looking at a prism of light from different facet, and says, I no longer allow you to hurt me even though we haven't spoken in 10 years. I release you completely out of my field. And I only keep what I have learned, what I have also gained, and the experiences behind it. And then I can move forward. So I feel like this is a practical way to approach the shift going on. It's been going on the planet, especially the last 2-3 years. I mean,
Right.
very potent.
What makes some of us kind of want that, wish for that shift and take action, inspired action, and engage in those practices that you just mentioned? Is that something that we need guides? Do we always need guides to help us? Or this is something that it takes the right moment because not all of us are ready to shift at this time?
That's a great question. So allow me to share an example. It's an illustration, a figure of speech. If I said to you, I'm going to send you on a very important mission right in the Amazon forest, and you would say, what kind of supply will I get? Will I get also support on the ground when I get there? Is there a way for me to stay in communication with the base? And the answer would say, of course, you have access to all of it at any time. So to ask yourself, what is it that you're ready for? And what aspect of you that tells you or convince your mind that you maybe not as ready as you think you are, but what does your heart tell you?
Yeah, that's a beautiful illustration, inspiring one, and one that resonates with the heart, of course. Yeah,
Beautiful.
he always knows. Yeah, it knows, and sometimes it feels almost like unreal, surreal, to forgive everyone, to embrace this journey wholeheartedly in that sense of unconditional love and with joy. And at the same time, and then there's the other side that says, no, wait a minute, I'll get hurt if I do that, if I just surrender, if I just open the heart too much. And that's an interesting dance that I have experienced myself. It's getting better now, but it's still there. And I love to hear the practices they speak of in the explanation in a way for the obstacles to that ascension, to that shift, which is this attachment to emotions. That's interesting too, the stories that we tell ourselves all the time, of course. And with that in mind, I have a lot of people around me, and a lot of times It's one of the things that I have let go. It's storytelling. And now I have a hard time relating to stories, belief systems, and all that. Anything that sounds programmed or it's something of the past. So how do we shift and at the same time stay, let's say, connected enough with those who have not shifted yet so we can guide them, but without pretending, because I don't want to pretend that I like storytelling, because I don't anymore. Something in me doesn't really attach to it anymore. It's very interesting. It engages with it, but doesn't, there's no attachment. So how do we dance that dance, Viviane?
Beautiful imagery of a dance, the dance that brings movement, fluidity, adaptability. Stories, I always says, all the stories that creates your secret book of life, imagining saying, I am ready now to archive aspect of those books into my Akashic record. And that would be a good image. And it's simple. There's no need to have exhaustive knowledge of how to use the Akashic record. All you need to do is be clear with yourself, clear your mind, breathe through the gateway of your heart and says, I'm going to visualize now all the books of my life so far, what I have written, what I have experienced, everything. And I look, let's say, imagine you see 5, 10, 20, 100 books in front of you, just that it comes to you and says, okay, I call upon the guardians of the Akashic record on my soul level, and I ask them, I am ready now to archive those books. I have learned, extracted everything I need to learn, known and unknown, on the mind and subconscious level, and even beyond. And now I'm ready to concentrate on my actual book of life and what is it that it contains? What would be the direction of the next book? And to feel the excitement, one thing that is deeply healing, Valeria, and that for everyone, is trade fear, uncertainty, for sacred universal joy. Let the passion ignite in your heart. It may sound very simple, but very potent. Just feel it right now. I trade fear and uncertainty for universal joy within my being.
Wow.
And yes.
I love that. Yeah, it sounds almost too simple, right? To be true and to be real, but it is. That's interesting how we have lost contact with that simplicity. That's so essential. It's essential, foundational of our beings. That's amazing to even to listen to you speak that way, because it's so obvious that we miss the point. They often miss it in our 3D reality. Something that caught my attention when you said the book of life, the current book of life in this moment, in a sense of archiving the past stories, the past experiences, letting them go, and then just focus, which is not really a focus, but being present, right? Be here now. From that, let me see if I understood that correctly, is that we are still writing stories. We're still writing a new book. And that's kind of, I wonder if we can navigate this reality without stories, without belief systems, and just being curious and open to it.
It's all part of it. The curiosity of the higher mind that leads your heart to redesign like a blank canvas. What is the next step? I'm ready to be of service, and I open the sacred book of life, and I am here, and I'm allowing those steps to be revealed to me from a different consciousness, a different perspective. So even the words stories change its perspective. The connotation is no longer overcharged with emotions, trauma, programming. This is part of what we call the reversal of thought system. And even some semantics in the verbal communications. If you noticed, some words, phrase have shifting and no longer based in the same level of meaning, because we all are shifting one way or another, whether you are present to it or feel detached from it. you are a multidimensional being, so you are shifting and changing. You're part of the universe.
Yeah, that's a beautiful message. It seems like we can practice these things, but it requires a shift, right, Vivian? Something happens at that level, almost like the DNA level. I mean, it's very profound for this to happen because I have seen that in myself. So the question that comes to me is about for you, how did that happen for you, this profound shift?
Oh, yes, I love this question. This profound shift has been an ongoing masterpiece in progress. This is how I call it. And I can tell you, even as from a child perspective in school, the way I was perceiving reality around me, I could feel everyone's reality and I can feel my reality coexisting together. And what I was doing is simply I allow myself to explore certain avenues of others' reality to see where they're coming from. How does it feel? What can I learn? And when I grow to be what you know as an adult in my early 20s, this is where for me it was truly the next big evolutionary change for me. I am in constant communication with my Arcturian delegation. And they come to me and they said in my early 20s, now we're going to start to significantly reattune you in ways that you're preparing for your global mission. Because I wasn't public just yet back in my 20s and the time wasn't there. And from the 20s on, it has been a series of profound changes and it's still happening because as being of service here on a really big mission at the soul, I understand the need to shift, balance, and adapt so that I can be better in alignment with what is happening on the planet and even in the solar system. So I can tell you, Valeria, is that that's true for everyone. The moment you say yes and you become more mind, body, heart, and spirit aligned with those changes, the journey is fascinating. It is a transformative. It is also a series of metamorphoses and to discover different facets of you that you may have no idea right now. But imagining right now, rediscovering your inner universe, who you really are. And it's the greatest gift there is, besides love, of course.
Is that something that is, to you, it happens naturally, or this is something that you have to practice on a day-to-day basis?
Great question. I would say it's a mixture of both. It is also natural because who I am very much deep at the core level. And in addition to understanding my journey here on the planet, understanding how to relate to others, understanding the needs here, how it feels like, to be a human being, to have emotions, challenging. It's a beautiful combo of multitude of layers happening at once.
Do you still have those emotions, let's say the basic human emotions of being sad and then the contrast to being happy? But the question's more on the, some people say at the more the 3D level, in a sense of, I don't want to say negative, but it's highly judged, those feelings and emotions when they are charged in the sense of anger and resentment, fear, sadness. Do you still have some of them visiting from time to time, or this is something that it doesn't happen anymore?
That is a powerful question. I love it. I always says with a little hint of humor, I have been long enough on the planet to really feel everything. The thing is I am multidimensional sensitive. I can feel the entire planet. I can tune in and feel thousands of souls all at once. So I have learned and I'm still learning to navigate through the emotional field in ways that I can bridge that with higher faculties, respecting myself when I feel energy of sadness, of grief. And I'm going to ask, okay, what is this coming from? Show me, help me understand the root source behind it. There's so many people on the planet that are energy sensitive. You're very empathic. And so it's the recognition between what are you absorbing as a result of your abilities and what really belongs to you. So I will say, now I'm feeling grief going on right now. Does it come from the planet? Does it come from many souls around the globe? What is it coming from? And I will allow that emotion to teach me. And if there's some aspect that belongs to me, then I'm going to explore, okay, where is it really coming from? So I can better understand you. So I talk to the emotion like I would be talking to you, said, let's explore and see what does it mean.
I think I remember a poem by Rumi. He has a poem that portrays emotions that way. They're just visitors, let them in. It's not easy, but it's such a powerful practice that I engage with. That's not one of my favorites, but one of the most profound ones in the sense of relating to the human experience. That's really what it is. Just not trying to ignore, escape what's happening now, and being with it. Not easy though, not easy. And that's when a lot of times I ask for guidance. When I can't find those answers, I keep asking the question, why are you here? And I don't clearly hear the answer. Then I ask my guides for assistance. And I love the illustration you gave earlier about going to the Amazon on that mission and then always having that connection. We never lost connection with the base, so we can always communicate with them.
Precisely.
Yeah, I won't forget that. You have been very active with this mission of not just healing this reality, but helping us to ascend, to elevate in so many ways. Coming from that perspective, the soul especially, from what I hear from you now, more than ever. So you have done a lot. I want to mention some of them, and then I'll leave it to you to talk about any aspect of your work that you want to focus on. You have collaborated in best-selling book series. They are called Wisdom of the Silver Sisters, Guiding Grace, and Golden Wisdom of Love, Legends, and Legacies. And these books are on Amazon. You own the Infinite Healing from the Stars LLC. You also produce and co-host a podcast titled The Infinite Star Connections. You also have been a hybrid consultant on J3 Films documentary titled Extraordinary, The Seeding. And you're also featured in a multi-award winning documentary, Extraordinary, The Revelations. So I would love to see them. Are they on Netflix? I know I don't watch Netflix, but I heard how popular they are. Are they on Amazon, Netflix, YouTube, all of these medias, Viviane?
Great questions. I know that the link directly to the website of the J3 Film Production is also listed. Definitely Amazon Prime, I believe Netflix is also available. There's others, I think Apple have them as well, and they're on a multitude of platforms as we speak right now. They're available.
You also have joined the WISH, it's an acronym, WISH Alliance, as an ambassador and emissary. That's galacticalliance.com. And then, as of this moment, in the sense of a few weeks away, January, you will be hosting it's a retreat in Sedona from January 20th to the 22nd. That's another event. And you're also offering one of your services is Arcturian Healing Arts program. So talk to me about how this program works, and I would love to know more about the 3 levels.
Oh, yes. Thank you for asking. Absolutely. I am excited to launch this brand new program with my Arcturian delegations called, as you mentioned, Arcturian Healing Arts. It's an ancient galactic and ascension 3 months program. Each level, first level is the body template upgrades for light body ascension and sacred embodiment. Level 2 is the soul matrix repair and restoration, the cosmic eternal presence. And the third level is the quantum field and the galactic light codes, and also a lineage. There's so much we're going to explore. I wanted to create in a group setting opportunity to dive and dwell into the sacred realms of who we are, so that giving an opportunity for people to truly embrace the fullness of their being as multidimensional beings, and exploring also your inner divinity. So we're going to really create sacred space and explore each session. Each level has 3 distinct sessions, and each session will have a replay so that those who cannot join us live will be able to watch, and being able to go deep into recharging ourselves. But more than that is teaching, reteaching, relearning ourselves to live without the fear-based matrix reality, embracing the universal aspect of our joy, our light, our co-creative faculties. The program we offer with 3 distinct levels, which will go in depth in the group setting, really are truly designed as evolutionary catalysts for self-mastery and your conscious ascension. So it's beautiful advanced galactic 3 months program that leads the way ultimately to the 5D, what we call fifth dimensional awakening and beyond. In 2023, the alignment is perfect for this. And so my clients always says, well, I've been doing a lot of work. I work with the Arcturians myself or other galactic beings. I work with the angels. I work with sacred geometry. And we say, from wherever you are on your journey, we feel that this program will speak the language of you as you are in this space and time, in this sacred continuum space and time, and allowing you to take on the next level of your sacred design. And you're going to be in a very beautiful quantum space to reconcile, expand beyond the stories, and it's part of the description, limitation, beyond restrictive energies, beyond also any resonance, even at the saltity level of anything that may still limit, block you, make you feel doubt. How can we assist you to go beyond all of this and co-create a new web of life? And as you co-creating one for yourself and harmonizing your own inner universe, you also become a much more active light worker to also interweave the fifth dimensional reality on the new earth and where we're shifting into very naturally. So this is just an aspect of what this new program will be about.
I would love to hear more about the methods. I know that by speaking with you, hearing you, being in your presence, I feel the resonance, which is, we call it transmission. So I feel that there's more, it's almost like being under the light itself and kind of not having to do much, but just kind of being open to it. And besides that, do you also include is the Arcturian Healing Arts program? Is that based on meditation, energy healing? I would love to know more about what the methods are.
It's all of the above. We come together on Zoom in a group setting, because when you come in a group setting, you no longer just concentrate on what is my story. And sometimes, because I do a lot of private session, and oftentimes I can see people getting into a loop of, yes. So what we say is that we're going to open the holographic field with the Arcturians and other intergalactic group we work with, like the Andromedan and the Lyrans as well. And we guide you. So we'll have a program like the first level. Each session will address different aspects that made of your sacred body template, whether it's moving into also clearing and balancing through the cycle of spirituality to be able to get into a deeper relationship between your spirituality, your mind, your co-creative faculties. So it's beautiful holographic energy transmission that will be done. And there will be also different new algorithm of light coming through. It's everything that we need. And each session will be unique and also very complementary to the next one. So it's like forming or co-creating a perfect um, design, a perfect map, if you want. And then the first level, we were really understanding the realm of your body template consciousness and its infinite languages. And there's too much time we see people spending disconnected from the spirituality and the body aspect. The body is much more than a physical vessel. We're looking at your body template to help you remember and reactivating eventually the celestial human body template, to return in that energy. Because, Valeria, I get many people asking me, how do I ascend? Do I need to drop my body behind like in the old incarnation wheel? And we said there are other ways. Look at the masters. They have showed you. So let's practice. Let's work with very advanced, enlightened intergalactic masters who are thousands and millions of years old, and we understand what ascension enlightenment is about.
It's almost like you read my mind. I was about to ask about enlightenment, and you just said the word. What is your, let's say, definition, concept of spirituality? If you were to make it very simple, what is to be spiritual or to engage in spirituality?
In very simple terms, is that it's remembering that I am a soul, an ancient soul of light, and I am moving through a third dimensional physical experience, and there's so much more to me. And to all of you, and being spiritual is allowing yourself to even accept the very foundation of your nature and move out and transcend beyond what we call the third personality matrix reality. You're no longer just a body. My name is, this is where I grew up. I went to school there. I worked 20 years in this shop. No, it's more than that. This is the experiences you've been having on this earth, and we can honor that. But you much more than that. Are you even ready to look at yourself that way?
Wow, yeah, that's another insightful question that I often ask myself, as I mentioned earlier, and you just said, are we even ready to see that? So do we choose? Is that a choice? Or are we all, in a way, designed to go back, to return to our spiritual selves? Or this is a choice that could go on literally forever, choosing not to look deeper into it?
Well, that's a great question. And so you are by design soul beings of light, multidimensional and holographic in nature. That changes nothing to what your mind tells you. It's more in terms of, can I step backwards from looking at my stories, programming? Am I just mimicking my ancestors, parents, my upbringing, cultural background, depending on where you got brought up in the world? I work with magnificent people from all over the planet, from Bali to New Zealand to South Africa to Germany. And there's a commonality behind everything, is that people are more and more, there's a calling within their heart that says, I know there's more to me. I've been feeling it as something is awakening, whether I'm mentally able to speak words about it or not. And we say, okay, let's explore from where you are. And it's almost like telling you, again, the Amazon forest, when you call the base home and says, hey, I need help. I feel like I'm stuck in the mud. We say, okay. We may get another phone call that says, hey, I need help. I reached the mountain. So both calls will be addressed depending on where you are. And so you're going to receive help and assistance from where you are. If you're stuck in the mud, we'll show you how to move forward from the mud and what is the mud was about. If you're at the mountain, we'll help you to understand what the mountain is about. You see the difference is it's in you. It's your nature. You, some people, I know there's soul groups on the planet that will choose to continue to evolve in the third density. And that's okay. It is still a form of evolution. We have to look at the word evolution again from a multidimensional perspective, not a linear one.
So I want to mention, we're almost at the end, and I want to mention the other services you offer. You mentioned earlier yourself, actually, the individual sessions and packages, private group sessions as well, starseed lineage reading, sacred space clearing, and memberships. That's besides, again, the books that you have collaborated in, and also the retreats that's coming up. That will be January, and that's an in-person in Sedona. Wow, that's inspiring too. I kind of had that vision of going there, perhaps one of these days. The retreat's titled Higher Self, Dimensional Bridge of Consciousness. So before we say goodbye for today, and I ask you these ending questions, Viviane, would you like to add anything else that you left unsaid?
Beautifully, Valeria. What a wonderful time together. And we also going to be, I'm going to be speaking and offering workshop at a seminar at sea called The Hidden Secrets Revealed. That's in April 2023. So we have first a retreat coming in Sedona. Let's cruise together on the ocean and manifest so much more as we're working also with the whales, the dolphin, galactic cetacean. We're going to be doing also Arcturian holographic DNA work. Imagine doing all of this and more on the ocean and being able to reach the entire planet just by the ocean effect. So there's still time to sign up for the cruise. If you mention my name, Viviane Chauvet, you will be automatically added to my private Arcturian group session I'm doing for those who are coming. And it's going to be above and beyond, just like the retreat in Sedona to start the year. And we're going to be traveling quite a bit. There's many conferences I'll be speaking at. We're going to be in England as well in August. So there's so much coming up.
Wow, yes, the seminar at sea, right? That sounds inspiring indeed. Wow, you did make. I was thinking about it. I know my reality is a bit different now, but in the sense of the 3D reality family and all. But wow, that sounds really like a dream in a way. Thank you so much, Viviane, for doing what you're doing. As I said off record, I believe with this expression that you manifest in this reality, it's just so beautiful in so many ways, and profoundly beautiful. I have to say it that way. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm very honored. Thank you so much.
And before we say goodbye for today, let me ask you this ending question. I'll ask you this one because summarize everything in a way. If there is one message you wish everyone to engage with and take with them from this conversation, what would that be?
Fabulous. I would simply ask you just to feel in your heart, besides fear, anxiety, separation, the 3D aspect of what you have learned, what you've experienced so far, what else are you ready to experiment? Are you ready to embrace more universal joy, complete abundance, the completion of your soul journey, being of service, being able to a project, maybe it's healer, the next level, working with people, making a difference? What else there is beyond the 3D journey? There's so much more. Are you ready for this? Let's journey with us. You'll see.
Yes. Wow. What else is possible? Yeah, that's a beautiful question to ask ourselves. So thank you so much again for your presence here today. And before we end the conversation, where's the best place to find you and your services and engage with all these beautiful offerings that you have out there?
Absolutely. One place, my website, Infinite Healing from the Stars.com. That is Infinite Healing from the Stars.com. We just launched a brand new website. There's still some attunements going on, so be patient with us. But the experience is there nonetheless. All the services, individual, the 3-month program, group. We do private group as well for you, your friends, your community. We also have our Patreon membership, building a community. We have members from all over the world already. We have a beautiful library of ascension with meditation, the podcasts. I mean, there's so much. So everything will be there.
Wonderful. I'll have the link on your podcast profile as well. Thank you so much again, Viviane, and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening. To learn more about Viviane Chauvet and her work, please visit infinitehealingfromthestars.com.
To learn more about this podcast, please visit fitforjoy.org/podcast. Thank you again for listening, and bye for now.